Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Amanda, and this is Run With Me at 50 Plus. On this channel today, I am going to do a recap of the Cleveland Marathon, which is the sixth state that I have run so far on this journey. For those that do not know, I am on a journey to run one marathon in every state. This is the sixth state. So, yes, this past weekend I was in Cleveland, Ohio running the Cleveland Marathon, and this is the medal here from the marathon, and this is also the finisher shirt from the marathon. So, I wanted to hop on here and give a recap and also to kind of just chronicle my journey as I'm going through the 50 State Marathon Challenge. So today we're going to do that recap, and if I can recall, I want to start with a set of questions when I'm doing these videos. So basically we're going to start with answering questions, and I'm going to try and keep this format the same throughout the videos. It may vary a little bit, but yeah. So the first question is going to be, how was my travel? So I am traveling from Georgia to each one of these different states, so travel was good. I was able to make it to the expo on time, and everything was fine with the flight. As far as the expo was more of a smaller expo. They had it downtown Cleveland, and however, that was the most involved expo that I was a part of. What I mean by involved was we were able to get free massages, and we were also able to put on the massaging boots to go over our calves and feet and everything to try those out. So I thought that was really cool. So I did get a free massage for probably about 10 or 15 minutes, and then I sat in the boots for about 10 or so minutes. So that was cool. Then I walked around the expo, I took pictures, I picked up my race bib and my shirt, and from there I was out. So from there I left, and I normally go and I will get me a carb loaded dinner. So I did find a restaurant that evening to get me some pasta and some salmon and a salad, and that's what I carb loaded on. The next morning I was up and ready for the race. The race actually took place on May 18th, 2025, which is my mom's, or would have been my mom's, 72nd birthday. So I really wanted to do this one because that was kind of special to me. So yes, so that's what happened there. So that morning got up, and I always prepare something to eat because it's a marathon, of course, and so it was 26.2 miles. So I prepared a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a banana, and that is what I had before the race. I also had about 1 liter of electrolytes mixed in water, and I do use the Element electrolytes, so I had that plus just regular water, and that was what I drank and ate before I started the race. Now let's dive on into the race. So race morning, it started we got downtown, and it started about 7:30. So race takes off, everything's going well. There was not a whole lot of eventful, if you will, activities that took place during the first maybe 5 to 10 miles of the race. It was, just racing as usual. Now, I did pass a lot of the iconic buildings downtown Cleveland, Ohio. We ran by the Rocket Arena, we ran by the Guardians Field. We also ran by the Cleveland Brown Stadium, so the Space Center. So we did run by some iconic buildings like that. So yeah, the race was going well. It had a few hills, few inclines. So, nothing too uneventful. So after I got like maybe 13, .1 miles into the run, which was halfway, I did start to feel a little tired, but I started to think about strategy at that point, because I'm like, okay, you still have another 13.1 miles to go. So from there, I decided to just kind of pull back a little bit and focus on my breathing as well as my body. So I wasn't running quite as fast as I normally would with my pace. So basically, I slowed down so that I can be fully present. So that made a difference. And I was still taking in my electrolytes, because I do wear a hydration vest, and I had 1.5 liters of hydration in there. It was electrolytes, water. And so I was taking that in, and of course, as I passed the aid stations, I was getting Gatorade and water from there as well. I think around that time, by half marathon time, I had taken 2 gels, because my goal was to try to take a gel every 6 miles. So I was making sure I was staying up on that. I had started popping some gummies. Oh yeah, at the beginning of the race, I also took 1 salt tablet. So yeah, making sure that I'm staying hydrated. So just kind of being aware of all of that as I was running. So that helped out as I, moseyed on past the half marathon point. After that, I was into mile, 16, 17. We were running by Lake Erie as well. We did see some of Lake Erie early on, I think at mile 3 or 4. But yeah, we got a longer stretch around miles 17, 18, 19 of Lake Erie. So I thought that was, refreshing, kind of took my mind off of, the grind of just running along the road. So that was pretty cool. After that, there was kind of like a loop out from mile 20 to 22, and you loop back and run that same stretch, but you're, on the opposite side of the road. So that was kind of interesting. I don't know if I really like that or not. It was cool either way. But so from there, I rounded that corner and came back up, and it was like I said, around mile 22 to 23, and we ran around a bridge. So basically, we were kind of like at the bottom of the bridge, and when we rounded it, we ended up back up at the top of the bridge. I thought that was really cool. This race actually took us through about 4 or 5 bridges. So needless to say, there was some incline and declines on this run. But other than that, after I got to mile 22, I started to see more of us going back toward the downtown area. So, that's always hopeful, and encouraging, because you're getting back close to that finish line. So, with that being said, I did have 1 more bridge to go over after mile 23, I think. And so after we got to the bottom of that bridge took us on into downtown. So we kind of made like a left-hand turn off of that bridge and ran, right back downtown on into the finish line. So it was a cool race. I didn't feel as tired as I normally do at the end of a race. So I think a couple of things that I can credit is hydration the night before with electrolytes, making sure I'm getting my water in and the carbs, and then also the hydration, the morning of, the salt tablets. That was something new for me, as well as just kind of being more aware of taking more gels along the trail. So I did take a couple of more gels along this run. So we're going to keep this strategy and practice going, but I did want to hop on here to give a recap of the Cleveland Marathon. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below, and I'll be glad to answer, any questions you may have about the marathon or my hydration or my training plan or whatever I'm doing to, prepare for these races. So this is going to end. I'm going to end this video right here, and this is once again the medal from the Cleveland Marathon, and this is my 6th state. This is also the t-shirt. I think it's pretty cool. I love it. This t-shirt says Cleveland, and it also says full for those who ran the full, and then I think the half was like a gray t-shirt with that said half. But I'm going to end this video here, and like I said, if you have any comments or questions, let me know. But until the next video and the next state, peace out.